This is Canadian Cult Cinema. Heavy Metal Summer, aka State Park, is a 1990 Canadian sex comedy directed by Raphael Zelinsky and starring Kim Myers, Isabella Mejias, and James Wilder. The film opens with a bear in a man costume, running through the woods. We then get a shot of a pesticide plant that, seems to have the security of a POW camp, although that security is easily forded by a bear and a log. We then get some exposition delivered by Wee Wonka Willie, our fourth wall-breaking bear.
Before Mr. B. Morris Ranswell got here, this was a wonderful place. A place where you could kick back, relax, and enjoy nature. But he's ruining everything. Ripping up the land with that factory of his. I know there's something else going on there. And when I find out what it is, I'm gonna blow the lid off his entire operation.
We're then treated to a title sequence. Now, the only copy I could find of this is titled State Park, which is what the film was released as in the US. The titles are accompanied by a theme song that is a blatant ripoff of the Yellow track Oh Yeah that we all remember from Ferris Bueller's Day Off. Now, as far as I can tell, the composer was Matthew Macaulay, an Emmy Award-winning Canadian composer, and, according to Wikipedia, the great-grandson of Edmonton's first mayor. We are quickly introduced to our main characters, Lewis and Rocket, a heavy metal band on their way to LA, and the female leads, Eve, Marcia, and Linny, on their way to Wonka Park. Lewis mistakenly leaves Rocket in the middle of the road as they make a detour to the park. We get introduced to our evil industrialist antagonist Ranswell, played by Walter Massey, as he confronts our possible protagonist, Truckee, who runs the park's snack bar.
You've got to be out of here by tomorrow.
No, I don't think I can do that. You may have to send me another notice, maybe even a court order.
Rocket finally catches up to Lewis.
Was it something I said?
And then there's the overzealous park ranger that's in cahoots with our industrialist.
This perpetrator did not only desecrate our park's proud symbol of conservation, but destroyed Mr. Ranswell's property.
Our heavy metal idiots decide to sign up for a wilderness challenge.
The Wilderness Challenge. The winner gets $5,000, man! Know what that'll buy?
Amplifiers?
Power!
Some more exposition from Wee Wonka Willie.
Every night I get into this bear suit and sneak around that construction site, trying to find proof that Ranswell is up to something.
Eve sees part of a man in the Wee Wonka Willie suit. Park Ranger Smite is a great detective.
The perpetrator was wearing fake bare feet.
And so the Wilderness Challenge is divided into three main sections: swimming, kayaking, and the orienteering course.
In keeping with our 80s comedy cliches, there are two ringers entering the Wilderness Challenge that are probably working for the evil businessman. Eve wants Truckee to show her some orienteering so she can compete in the Wilderness Challenge. Truckee and Eve then engage in a summer camp courtship ritual. I love the fact here that Truckee takes his jeans off just to reveal that he has jean shorts underneath. We get our first hint at who the mystery man in the Wee Wonka Willie suit is. She then blackmails him.
If you don't teach me what I need to know, I just may collect the one on you, Willie.
Marcia begins to fall for Rocket, but then she realizes he's a heavy metaler.
Heavy metalers shouldn't be allowed in the park. They're such...
Hi.
Maybe by the end of the movie they will see past their differences?
You were a heavy metaler. At our school, heavy metalers are considered to be the creeps, the lowlifes, the scumbags, the trash, the geeks.
I get it.
I've never even talked to a heavy metaler before.
Will you stop putting that label on me? I'm a musician. I just don't play whip music.
Lewis starts playing his electric drums at an excessive volume, and an old couple in the camp next door show up. But they're not here to complain.
We've been noticing a glitch in the interface unit on your DDR-30s.
Can you reverse the polarity on your amp there?
I think you got it. This will cut down on the distortion without a DBX. It'll also make it louder.
Louder?
Truckee and Eve bond over vandalism. Wee Wonka Willie steals a bulldozer and wreaks some havoc. Lewis, Rocket, and Marcia, who has now embraced her heavy metal side, perform for the camp. They are also joined by the old couple, and for some reason the old lady has a chainsaw on stage. Now keep in mind, this was years before the band Jackal would make that a thing. And for those of you not born in the 80s, Jackal was a rock band whose singer played a chainsaw on stage. Yeah, that happened. And then Ted Nugent shows up.
I was back in the woods about 40 miles to the north, and I heard the music. And I said to myself, Mr. Tasty, it's time to move, it's time to get down, it'd be time to jam.
The song is called Love Like a Chainsaw, and the vocals are actually performed by Rachel Sweet. Besides being a great singer, she is also a writer and producer on shows like Two Broke Girls, The Goldbergs, and Dharma and Greg. While everyone else is having fun, Truckee tells Eve that all is lost.
Renswell won. Tomorrow, 5 o'clock, he's got my store, land, and his factory.
The next day is the Wilderness Challenge. Eve, Rocket, and Linny are competing, as well as two totally not professional athletes who are working for Ranswell. The first leg of the race is a swimming portion, and Rocket seems to win it easily. Now, while that's happening, Truckee races off to get proof that Ranswell is dumping toxic waste. The next leg of the race is kayaking. Rocket isn't doing so well, but somehow still manages to come out in the lead. Those dastardly ringers are up to no good, sabotaging other racers in the orienteering portion of the race. And Rocket gets lost. Eve gets taken out by one of the ringers. Truckee finds proof that Ranswell is dumping chemicals. The ringers get caught in one of Truckee's booby traps. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention, Truckee has booby traps for some reason. Truckee gets attacked by Ranswell's goons. And as the goons are attempting to murder Truckee, someone in a Wee Wonka Willie suit shows up and saves him. Truckee steals the truck with the chemical waste and a car chase ensues. Truckee drives the truck to the race finish line and Ranswell gets caught with chemical waste in front of a camera crew. Oh yeah, and Eve was the one in the Wee Wonka Willie suit. And Linny ends up winning the race without even trying, and then gives the scholarship to Eve. Everything is wrapped up in a nice little bow. Heavy Metal Summer is a typical summer camp movie that kinda hits all the cliches. The evil rich guy who doesn't care about the environment, the competition where the underdog needs to win, and it even has a younger guy pining after an older woman that then falls for someone his own age. The one thing it does differently than many teen sex comedies of the time is give equal time to the female gaze. Now, most of these movies focus on a bunch of guys trying to get laid. A Heavy Metal Summer tends to focus on 3 female characters and their relationships. Yes, there is female nudity, but there's also some male nudity as well. The women aren't just there to be arm candy or the object of pursuit. They have their own stories and are just as important as the guys. Hell, Eve even saves the main male character at the end. Now, I don't think Heavy Metal Summer will ever be hailed as a groundbreaking comedy, but it did try to be a little bit more than its contemporaries. The film was directed by Raphael Zelinsky, who had previously directed Screwballs 1 and 2 and the Canadian Police Academy knockoff Recruits. Eve was played by Kim Myers, who was probably best remembered as Lisa from Nightmare on Elm Street Part 2. Walter Massey played Ranswell, a well-known Canadian character actor, but I remember him most as Pluto from the cartoon The Smoggies. Heavy Metal Summer was produced by John Dunning, a heavyweight in the Canadian film industry. He co-founded Cinepix and was behind such Canadian classics like Cronenberg's Shrivers and Rabid, as well as My Bloody Valentine and Happy Birthday to Me, just to mention a few. As I mentioned at the beginning, the film was released in the US as State Park back in 1988, but didn't see release in Canada until 1990, under the title Heavy Metal Summer. It was shot in Montreal and Mont-Tremblant National Park in Quebec. As far as I know, Heavy Metal Summer is trapped on VHS, but you can find some good rips of it streaming on YouTube. If you enjoyed this episode, please hit that like and subscribe button, and if you could, please share the episode with a friend. It would really help out.